Welcome students. Today we are here to study the paper Digital Image Processing having the subject code EC703A. This is one of the elective paper of final year 7th semester. Myself Kaushik Pal, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Our topic for today is image security and image watermarking. So in the previous class we have studied image security using image steganography. Today our topic is image watermarking. So we all know why the image to be secured and what is the requirement of image security. Today we will see how image watermarking is used to achieve this image security. Now we will see the comparison between steganography and watermarking. So first we have to understand that one of the most important property of digital information is that it is in principle very easy to produce and distribute unlimited number of its copies. This might undermine the music, film, book and software industries, and therefore it brings a variety of important problems concerning protection of the intellectual and production rights that badly needs to be solved. The fact that an unlimited number of perfect copies of text, audio and video data can be illegally produced and distributed requires to study way of embedding copyright information and serial number in audio and video data. Steganography and watermarking bring a variety of techniques how to hide important information in an undetectable and or irremovable way in audio and video data. Steganography and watermarking are main parts of the fast developing area of information hiding. Both techniques belong to the category of information hiding, but the objectives and embeddings of these techniques are just opposite. In watermarking, the important information is in the covered data. The embedded data is added for protection of the covered data. Now if we compare between the steganography and watermarking, so for this slide steganography versus watermarking. In steganography, the covered data is not important. It mostly serves as a diversion from the most important information that is in embedded data. Steganography tools typically hide relatively large blocks of information, while watermarking tools place or hide less information in an image or sounds. Data hiding dilemma to find the best trade-off between three quantities: robustness, capacity and security. So if we look further in this topic, steganography versus watermarking, we can say technically differences between steganography and watermarking are both essential to know. So here if we see, the main goal of steganography is to hide a message M in some image, audio or video, that is the covered data D, to obtain a new data D prime in such a way that it cannot be detect the presence of M in D. The main goal of watermarking is to hide a message M in some image, audio or video, that is means the covered data D, to obtain a new data D prime physically indistinguishable from D by people in such a way that it cannot be removed or replace M in D prime. Shortly, one can say the cryptography is about protecting the content of messages. Steganography is about concealing its very existence. Steganography method usually do not need to provide strong security against removing or modification of hidden message. Watermarking methods need to be very robust to attempts to remove or modify a hidden message. So now this is applications of steganography. To have secure secret communications where cryptographic encryption methods are not available, there steganographic method used. Next point, to have secure secret communication where strong cryptography is impossible. In some cases, for example in military applications, even the knowledge that two parties communicate can be of large importance. The last one is in the healthcare system. The healthcare and especially medical imaging system may very much benefit from information hiding techniques. Applications of watermarking. Watermarking plays a very important role in case of image security. So image security can be achieved either by these digital watermarking techniques. So an important application of watermarking techniques is to provide a proof of ownership of digital data by embedding copyright statement into a video or into a digital image. So it's very important that the ownership can be defined by this image watermarking technique. So other applications of digital image watermarkings are here. One is automatic monitoring and tracking of copyright materials on the web. For example, a robot searches the web for marked material and thereby identifies potential illegal issues. And the last point is automatic audit of radio transmission. A robot can listen to a radio station and look for marks which indicate that a particular piece of music or advertisement has been broadcast. Data augmentation to add information for the benefit of the public. Fingerprinting applications in order to distinguish distributed data. Actually, watermarking has recently emerged as the leading technology to solve the above very important problems. All kind of data can be watermarked: audio, images, video, formatted text, 3D models, etc. That means we can hide an audio, an image, and video and formatted text or the different 3D models in the other images. So these are the different applications of digital watermarking. Now, if we compare between these three entities, that means steganography, watermarking and cryptography, we will find that the purpose of both is to provide secret communication. Cryptography hides the contents of the message from an attacker but not the existence of the message. Steganography or watermarking even hide the very existence of the message in the communication data. Consequently, the concept of breaking the system is different for crypto systems and stego systems or watermarking systems. A cryptographic system is broken when the attacker can read the secret message. Breaking of a steganographic or watermarking system has two stages. The attacker can detect the steganography or watermarking has been used. The attacker is able to read, modify or remove the hidden message. A steganography or watermarking system is considered as insecure already in the detections of steganography or watermarking is possible. Now in this slide we can see the general steganographic model. So we have used a block diagram to elaborate the steganographic model. A general model of a steganographic system consists of secret image, cover, stego system encoder, stego system decoder, and this can be arranged like this. So first the secret image and the cover image is given to the stego system encoder. This will produce the stego object which will be transmitted through communication channel. So here also we should use some key in the stego system encoder. The transmitted stego object through the communication channel is received at the receiver side and it passed through stego system decoder. So here the input is given as the original image and the key to estimate of the secret message or to find out the secret message. So this is the general model of steganographic system. Steganographic algorithms are in general based on replacing noise component of a digital object with a to be hidden message. Kirchhoff's principle holds also for steganography. Security of system should not be based on hiding embedding algorithms but on hiding the key. Now if we take an example of steganography, it will be just like this. Suppose a German spy sent the following harmless messages. The message is apparently neutral's protest is thoroughly discounted and ignored. Eastman hard hit. Blocked issue affects pretext for embargo on byproducts, ejecting sweets and vegetable oils. If we extract the second letter in each word, we get that parsing sales from New York June 1. So here I is abbreviated or just looks like 1. So here we can see if we take the second letter of each word, we get a message which has been hidden in this paragraph. So this is an example of steganographic system. Now active and malicious attack is very important in case of this stego or watermarking system. At the design of stego system, special attention has to be paid to the presence of active and malicious attacks. Now what do we mean by attacks? Attacks is the process by which the attacker wants to either know the message, hidden message, or the attackers want to destroy or manipulate the corresponding hidden images. Active attackers can change cover during the communication process. An attacker is malicious if he forges messages or changes messages or initiates a steganography protocol under the name of one communicating party. In the presence of a malicious attacker, it is not enough that stego system is robust. In the embedding method does not depend on a key shared by the sender and receiver, then an attacker can forge or change the messages since the recipient is not able to verify the sender's identity. So it's very important, the active and malicious attacks. Introduction to image watermarking. The technique which allows an individual to add hidden copyright notice or other verification messages to the digital media. Message is a group of bits describing information pertaining to the signal or its author. Embedding of marks or labels that can be represented in bits in digital content. Embedded marks are generally invisible or imperceptible but can be detected or extracted. Watermark means what? Watermark is a visible or invisible signature embedded inside an image to show authenticity or proof of the ownership. Discourage unauthorized copying and distribution of images over the internet is the motto or purpose of this image watermarking. It ensures a digital picture has not been altered also. So these are the different properties of a digital watermarking techniques. Now if we see the history of watermarking, paper watermarks appeared in the art of handmade paper marking 700 years ago. So it's too ancient. Watermarks were mainly used to identify the mill producing the paper and paper format, quality and strength. Paper watermarks was a perfect technique to eliminate confusion from which mill paper is and what are its parameters. Legal power of watermarks has been demonstrated in 1887 in France when watermarks of two letters presented as a piece of evidence in a trial provide that the letters had been predated. What results in the downfall of a cabinet and finally the resignation of the president. Paper watermarks in bank notes or stamps inspired the first use of the term watermark in the context of digital data. The first publication that really focused on watermarking of digital images were from 1990 and then 1993. So this is the history of image watermarking techniques. Now we will see a general watermarking system. So here we can see a watermark generator having the input kg and it generates W0, that is the watermark. Now information coder has been given this watermark generator output, that means W0, and the S0, that means the information, so that will be given by W. Now embedder is given again the S0 and the W to form the SW with the key K. Now this is transmitted through a communication channel. So in there different type of signal processing may be done. Now after that the image is S prime W, which has been put it in the detector with a key K. And here also a watermark generator is generated W0 with a key KG, and that produces W0, which is given information coder, and S0 is also given there, so which produce W. So this W and this K and S prime W will generate W prime. So this is a general watermarking system which has both the embedded as well as the detected procedure. Now watermarking techniques can be categorized into several ways. So they can be either categorized according to the working domain, according to the type of document, according to the human perception, and last is according to the applications. So these are the various property by which we can distinguish, or we can say different types of, or we can mention different types of watermarking techniques. So this is a tree structure of types of watermarking. So watermarking or can be divided into mainly 4 parts. So the type of watermark is separated in by working domain or type of document, human perceptions, and applications, and they are also subdivided into some portions. Like if we consider working domain, so as there is 2 type of domain, so it can be categorized either in spatial domain or in frequency domain. If we consider type of document, so the 4 type of documents can be used for image watermark. One is text, another is image, next one is audio, and the last one is video. If we consider human perception, it may be of 2 types. Either it may be visible or it may be invisible. If we consider the invisible watermark, again it is of 2 types. One is robust and another is fragile. If we consider the robust invisible human perception image watermarking, it can be either private or it can be public. Now moving forward, if we consider the application, so it may be of again 2 types. One is source based application and another is destination based applications. So these are the different types of image watermarking techniques. So if we consider the spatial domain and the frequency domain, it has some properties, we will discuss them. So if we consider spatial domain, this is applied to graphic images and text, slightly modifies the pixels of 1 or 2 randomly selected subsets of an image. Generally it is hidden in the lower bits, as the lower bits has less information and MSB or higher bits has higher information. So changing in lower bits will not affect visually the entire image. So that's why we generally prefer the lower bits for this type of hiding techniques. So slightly modifies the pixels of one or two randomly selected subsets of an image. The third point is, however, not reliable when subjected to normal media operations such as filtering or lossy compression. So if suppose we have hidden some informations in spatial domain watermarking in the lower bits, so if we use some very simple image processing operations, that means if we pass that particular image either in low pass filter or high pass filter, or we just compress the image, so the hidden image may be lost. So that is the corresponding unreliable property in this spatial domain. So if we consider the frequency domain, this is also called transform domain. The values of certain frequencies, normally low, are altered from their original. So in the spatial domain, like we are hiding in lower bits, so here also we will choose the low frequencies where the value of certain these frequencies are altered from the original one. The watermark is applied to the whole image so as not to be removed during a cropping operations, and also to make its verification difficult. So these are the different properties of image watermarking technique in domain wise, that means either in spatial domain or in frequency domain. So here some examples has been given as the visible and invisible watermark. So very popular visible watermark is the currency. So in the currency we can see some of the images which has also be very fainted impressions. That means this is not very good visibles, or it is not invisible, intermediate. So visible watermark is a secondary overlaid into the primary images. The invisible robust watermark is embedded in such a way that alternations made to the pixel values are perceptually not noticed. So the invisible fragile watermark is embedded in such a way that and manipulations or modifications of the image would alter or destroy the corresponding watermark. So here we can see some invisible watermark, some visible watermark, and some semi-visible watermark. In the currency we are seeing the semi-visible watermark, and in the corresponding images of the iceberg there is some copyright information which is visible, and in the third image we can see some invisible watermark. So in the invisible watermark it's quite fragile, that means if we want to alter the watermark or the image, so the watermark will be destroyed. So these are the several visible and invisible watermark example. If we move forward, we can see this is an image. So there are three images. One is the cover image, another is the message image, and the last one is the watermarked image. So the watermarked image is the combinations of the cover image as well as the message image. Cover image is that particular image in which the message or information will be hidden. Message image is that particular image which must have to store in the cover image. So here we have to mention that the message image must be smaller than the cover image, and the watermark image will have the same dimension of the corresponding cover images. So this is one example of invisible image watermarking techniques. Now, if we consider fragile and robust watermarks, they also have some properties. We will discuss them now. A watermark is said to be fragile if the watermark hidden within the host signal is destroyed as soon as the watermark signal undergoes any manipulation. It will automatically destroy itself if it finds any type of alternations or manipulations is going on. When a fragile watermark is present in a signal, we can infer with a highly probability that the signal has not been altered. So these are the properties of fragile watermarking technique. If we move forward the robust watermarking technique, robust watermarks are those which can survive signal manipulations. So that means if someone tries to manipulate or change the original informations, it can withstand or it can survive that particular change or manipulations. Robust watermarking can withstand malicious attacks and signal processing too. Thus, recommended for those media which need to undergo during lossy compression. So here we can see the robust watermarking is very desirable but not easily to achievable, whereas fragile watermarking is not very desirable but it is achievable. That means robust watermarking should be the ideal one, but it is very tough to generate because it has to withstand different type of signal processing or manipulations or attacks, whereas fragile watermarking, if it finds any type of manipulations, it can destroy itself. So these are the difference between the fragile watermarking and the robust watermarking. So hope it is clear to you now. Now if we move forward, so these are the digital watermarking requirements. The watermark should exhibit certain characteristics. This includes that the watermark is difficult to notice, survives common distortions, resists malicious attacks, carry many bits of informations, can coexist with other watermarks, and requires little computation to insert or detect. Imperceptibility, that means the fidelity, the robustness, the fragility, and the modification and multiple watermarks. So these are the different requirements of digital watermarking technique, which is very much important. So this is the embedding and recovery, that means decoding systems, for which is given here in the two diagram in figure 1 and figure 2. In figure 1 it shows the basic schemes of watermarking embedding system, whereas in figure 2 it shows the basic scheme of watermark recovery system. In the watermark embedding systems, we are giving 3 as input. One is watermark W, another is secret key K, and the covert data I, which will produce the watermarked data I prime at the output of the watermark embedding system, which is to be transmitted. So here inputs to the scheme are the watermark, the covert data, and an optional public or secret key. The output are watermark data. The key is used to enforce the security, and at the second figure we can see the watermark detection or watermark recovery system. where the watermark W or original data I or W has been given, test data I prime also be given, and the secret key K has been given, from where the watermark or the corresponding measure, confidence measure has been obtained here. So here the inputs to the scheme are the watermark data, the secret or public key, and depending on the method, the original data and or the original watermark has been given at the input. The output is the recovered watermark W or some kind of confidence measure, including how likely it is for the given watermark at the input to be present in the data under inspection. So these are the embedding and recovery systems explained in this slide. Attacks on watermarks, which is very important. A watermark image may be altered intentionally to degrade the image quality by adding distortions. Different types of alternation is known as attack. The watermarking technique should be robust enough to survive the attacks, so that after extraction the watermark should resemble the original image. Some of the popular attacks mentioned here are salt and pepper noise, image compression, Gaussian noise, multiplicative noise, erosion, dilation, low pass filtering, high pass filtering, image cropping, image rotation, image scaling, image averaging, and the last one is multiple watermarking. So these are the several types of popular attacks which is generally used to degrade the image quality intentionally, that is known as image attacks. So we have to make our system so that it can withstand all of these attacks. That is the property of the robustness. So there is another very important term which is known as image quality matrices. That means the quality of the image is measured through these different parameters known as image quality matrix. The original image and the watermark image are not same, so they may have different parameters different. So that's why using these image quality matrices we can easily detect how much the image quality is being degraded after this type of embedding or recovery process. Measurement of the quality of a watermark image and recovered information logo is very important for the watermarking technique to indicate its strength and successfulness. So which is very important. That means the successfulness and the strength of different type of watermarking techniques can be measured through this image quality matrix. The amount of visual quality degradation between the original and watermarked image are generally described by different types of image quality metrics, such as peak signal to noise ratio abbreviated by PSNR, structural similarity index measurement SSIM, bit error rate BER, normalized absolute error NAE, mean average error MAE, universal image quality index UIQI. The quality and similarity of the recovered information with the original and determined by the bit error rate SSIM, normalized cross correlation NCC, mutual information MI, structural content SC and UIQI, higher value of PSNR, SSIM, NCC, MI and UIQI represents image of good quality, while lower values of bit error rate NAE, MAE, SC represents less error and consequently good quality images. Types of watermarking schemes. So here we can see three types of schemes, watermarking schemes here. One is private, which is also known as non-blind. Next one is semi-private, which is known as semi-blind, and the last one is public or blind watermarking. Actually what they are: private or non-blind watermarking systems require for extraction or detection the original cover data. Type 1 systems use the original cover data to extract the watermark from Stego data and use original cover data to determine where the watermark is. Type 2 systems require a copy of the embedded watermark for extraction and just yield a yes or no answer to the question whether the Stego data contains a watermark or not. For semi-private or semi-blind watermarking, it does not use the original cover data for detection but tries to answer the same questions. Potential application of blind and semi-blind watermarking is for evidence in court ownership. The last one is public or blind watermarking. Neither cover data nor embedded watermarks are required for extraction. This is the most challenging problem in these watermarking schemes. Now these are the applications areas of digital watermarking technique: the signature, fingerprinting, broadcast and internet monitoring, authentication and integrity, copy and copyright protection, and covert communication. So these are the different applications areas for digital watermarking techniques. Relevance and requirements of biomedical image watermarking. So image watermarking is very much important in biomedical field also. So there are several requirements of there. The first one is protection of electronic patient record in digital healthcare system is very important because it is the most secret and non-changeable data which must have to store very securely. Hiding patient data as electronic patient record in the medical image is one of the applications of digital image watermarking. Biomedical image watermarking is a relevant process for enhancing data security, content verification and image fidelity. Embedding external data in medical images should not change any information, thereby affecting further applications. Biomedical image watermarking should embed messages imperceptibly without changing image size or format, which is very important in case of biomedical image watermarking techniques. Now, this is a generalized biomedical image watermarking framework or image watermarking system which has been shown here. So the first scanned raw image is used here as the cover image or cover data is represented by I, which is given as the input to the encoder along with the signature or the watermark and a key. So these three will be the input of the encoder which generates the watermark image IW. This watermark encoding or embedded system produce the watermark image which stores in health information network, or which is abbreviated by HIN. Now the hackers try to hack or manipulate the informations through different type of attacks which must have to withstand by the image watermarking schemes. Now at the receiver side, the corresponding health information network information is the watermark image which has been given as the input to the decoder circuit along with the key. So this is given by IW, and after this key given in the decoder, the signature watermark W has been recovered, which is given to the doctors or clinical or the hospital as the image. So whatever we have hidden in the corresponding image, that has been retrieved, and this is the generalized biomedical image watermarking technique for this image or EPR, that means electronic patient record information. So thank you students, hope we have gone through the digital image watermarking, why it is required, what is digital image watermarking, how we can achieve different type of image watermarking, different applications and different examples we have already discussed here. If you have any queries, you can ask me. My mobile number and email address has been given here. Thank you very much.